The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, ladies and gentlemen. It is technically Wednesday, but it's really Friday. Well, no, it's Thursday, because tomorrow is technically Friday, because a lot of people are going to be taking off on Friday because it's July the 3rd, technically a holiday because July the 4th is on Saturday. You know what I mean. By the way, there's a new thing now. It's supposed to be 100 degrees here in the Washington, D.C. area today. And they got this new thing called feel-like temperature to make it sound a lot worse than it is, like you've never lived in a hot frickin' day in your life. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you're a Gen Zer who's never been outside when it was hot and had to wear a bike helmet everywhere you went. But we got this feel-like temperature. It says feels like temperature. I'm going to ask Brian real quick, my producer at WCBM. What's the feels like temperature if it's 100 degrees? Like 105 degrees, 110 degrees, something like that? I think it's something like 105.5. It's 105.5 in the morning. Rob Carson in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, WHOT. So it's 105.5 is the feels like temperature. And I got to tell you something. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. Because if you have ever been married or, been around a woman at all, when it's 75 degrees in your house, her feels like temperature is going to be 30. All right? Yeah, that's just the way it is. And when she's a little bit older, then, it's like 78 degrees. And when, a certain time in their life that, is, what do they call it, the summer or whatever the hell, if you're discontent, menopausal, then it's 105 degrees. And then it's 30 degrees. So I don't think feels like temperature is a really good idea. I just don't think feels like temperature. How about we just go with the temperature in Fahrenheit, by the way? Oh, it's the end of Pride Month was yesterday. I thought I'd play this one more time so we can stick it in a closet. Oh, wow, did I say that?
June is busting out all over.
I didn't want to offend anyone.
It's Pride Month for all the world to see.
I meant like the spare bedroom.
Our pride is overflowing. With arrogance we're glowing. And the media will cover it for free.
They gotta leave the Crossroads rainbow.
June is busting out all over.
Stop it.
It's Pride Month in case you didn't know.
Everybody do it.
You'll hear about it every minute. Prefer not to be in it. Sorry, that's the way it's gonna go.
Hey!
Pride Month's busting out all over.
It's busting.
Our tactics, they aren't very nice.
Tactics, ouch.
Corporations we are shaming. Names will be a naming. Pony up or you will pay the price. Because it's June, June, June. Just because it's June, June, June.
I just did some jazz hands. Just kind of, because it's Pride Month was last month. So I don't know if they're going to paint over the Pride sidewalks here. They got those Pride crosswalks here where I live. Any adult gay person who comes to the crosswalk and looks down and says, oh, this is meaningful. I was completely without direction in my life until they painted the sidewalk rainbow colors. It's so stupid. It's just so stupid. It's just so, whatever. Anyway, here is, by the way, I don't know if you knew this, but there's a woman who won a primary in Colorado. A Democrat socialist unseats a 15-term congresswoman in Colorado. The reason why she did is because there's a group of very highly motivated and well-paid communist agitators. They're spending money like Neville Singham and George Soros and their organized community, organized and all that. And they get enough people to win these primaries, particularly against Democrats, who, by the way, are ungodly unpopular in Washington, D.C. So this woman won. She's never had a friggin' job in her life. His name is Milot Kiros, okay? Milot Kiros justified the October the 7th Hamas terror attacks And Hassan Piker is a good friend of hers. She resigned from her job because her employer called for action against anti-Semitism on college campuses. And she also says that 9/11 was America's fault. And so what we have to do when the election comes up is kick her ass up between her shoulders. Because honestly, she's done nothing in her life to deserve representing anyone, because she's done nothing in her life. She's been in college for about 12 or 15 years. She's never had a job. She works as a barista. Nothing against you baristas, but honestly, do you really want to be, you want to be like the general manager barista of the Starbucks when you're 55 and you retire making $27 an hour in 2055? Do you want to do that? Do you really want to be there? Because this was the direction in her life, was stay in school forever and work at Starbucks and boss everybody around, because she's a petulant little child who's never done anything in her life. So we gotta just put these people out of our misery when it comes to the election coming up in November. Here she is in her victory speech. Listen to this, and I'm going to tell you right now. I don't think she's going to win. We are going to crush this. We are going to crush it out of existence. We've been through too much as a country. We've been through too much as a people. We've been through too much as Trump supporters and Americans. We know our history. We love our history. And we're not ready to turn it over to a bunch of petulant, stinking children, especially since all of this crap got destroyed in November of 2024. And they think they're going to do an end run. They think they're going to take over the Democrat Party. They might do that, but this ain't going to win nationally. Here is this moron.
We will not wait to take the fight to Donald Trump and the oligarchy. We will not wait. We will not wait to abolish ICE. We will not wait to put an end to the politics.
You are in the position to demand nothing, you child.
Of the past, to get big money out of our politics.
George Soros, Neville Singham, literally $300 million so far, I believe, this year.
And to reject corporate PACs and APAC. And no!
Hold on, there's the anti-Semitism. There's the real thing there. Because these little punks, they are not only socialists, they are anti-Semites, which combined makes Nazi.
PACs and APAC. And no, we will not wait to end the genocide in Palestine.
There is no Palestine. There is no. There's Gaza, which the Hamas made into hell on earth, and has been launching attacks against Israel because they want to wipe Israel off them. I'm done with that debate. I mean, honestly, STFO, STFU is what I'm thinking. I always get GTFO and STFU mixed up. How about do both? First STFU and then GTFO. Oh, my God. Meanwhile, this is a guy who actually really won a primary in Ohio, Vivek Ramaswamy. He won 88 counties with 82% of the vote over a guy named K.C. Putch. But listen to this speech compared to the girl child over here.
Zero income tax in the state of Ohio. It is your money, not the government's.
I'm Congressman Ro Khanna's chief of staff.
Okay, that was not meant to be there. Let's find it.
See, end the existent spending and overspending of waste, fraud, abuse in different parts of the state.
These are good
Take
ideas.
a rational approach to get there. First, eliminating capital gains to allow for business formation. Mm-hmm. Articulate this to the rest of the country. Let the rest of the country know we're right here.
Yeah, here's the thing. Whenever idiots like this Milat Shabalabuda, whatever that name is, win elections, people leave. Nobody is streaming into New York because Zoran Mandami is doing such a great job and the business climate is so awesome. They're experiencing some sort of afterglow 6 months after he was elected by a very small group of people who were highly motivated, anti-Semites, by the way, anti-police radicals and all of that. But it isn't going to fly nationally because the rest of us kind of love America. The rest of us have businesses. The rest of us work our rear ends off. And we're not about to be told by children who've never had a real job, who've been in college for 12 to 15 years of their life, how to run our country, how to run our business. businesses say that they're going to take over the means of production and all of that. That crap ain't going to fly. We've spent too much blood and treasure around the world conquering communism. We ain't going to let it happen here. So there you go. All right? Okay? That's just it. And for anybody who's freaking out about this, knock it off. Years ago, the leader of Great Britain, I'm drawing, Margaret Thatcher, told Ronald Reagan, Ronald, don't get wobbly on me. So I ain't getting wobbly. I'm getting more girded for battle, because now we know what the battle is. And the great thing is the Democrat Party is doing a death spiral into hell. I came up with another vampire analogy. I just put up a meme on all my social media at Rob Carson Show. I told you that the left dies like movie vampires, spinning, dragging, scratching, trying to claw you into hell with them. And then I thought about this Democrat Socialist Party. Now, what happens if you invite a vampire into your home? The vampire will kill everybody in the house. The Democrat Party, by saying, oh, we've got a big tent, are allowing Dracula into the tent. They are. Here is this Milat Kiros saying basically we're to blame for 9/11. You know, when all those people jumped out of the building windows, 300 people jumped to their death 1,000 feet from their offices burning, and 350 first responders were crushed to death in a couple of buildings, and a plane was flown into a field in Pennsylvania and into the Pentagon. She says it was justified, by the way, and it's our fault that those innocent people died.
Do you believe that the 9/11 terrorist attacks on America were the inevitable consequence of American foreign policy?
Inevitable in the sense that we destabilized a lot of the Middle East.
Now, the Middle East was a crap hole that's been at war with itself for thousands of years.
That forced people to believe that another act of violence was the only response. And
yeah, we had to kill all those innocent people and have them fall to their deaths.
Again, just like I said,
burn their death, that sort of thing. It was deserved.
Before, our responsibility is to getting rid of those conditions that lead to violence in the first place.
Okay, Democrats, you let this vampire into your house, and you're going to deal with it. But either way, we're going to beat both of you. We're going to beat your party, no matter who is in charge of it, and we're not, particularly in the 250th anniversary of our birth, going to cede any power to you. That's it. That's all. That's that. We got a lot to get to on the show. More on this. Also, I have something really cool, a new song that's going viral that will make you, well, even prouder of America, if that's possible. We had an Angel Mom on Capitol Hill shredding Democrats. It was glorious. So much to get to. Here's the number, 800-922-6680. This is the Rob Carson Show.
WCBM.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
Brett, good evening. New York congressional hopeful Daria Liza Avoya-Shevelya praised communism. She even promised union members today that their, quote, international comrades will fight for them. The inflammatory rhetoric divides Democrats.
Yeah.
So I don't have to agree with everything that she said, but the Republicans are putting kerosene on the fire, and
Didn't she pour kerosene on it to start with?
Look, I wouldn't have said some of the things that she said, but I don't vote in New York. They do.
There's concern that hard-left candidates could jeopardize swing districts for Democrats.
I hope this is not the direction of the party. Having a diversity of opinions is one thing. Some of what some of them think is beyond the pale. I mean, it's just outrageous.
Yeah, it is.
Still, progressives say Democrats are united opposing President Trump.
We're not the party of one person. We're a coalition. And there's going to be those discussions about where we move forward.
Now, pro-Palestinian demonstrators even castigated Nancy Pelosi's likely successor, Scott Wiener, about Gaza.
Yeah.
Wiener is gay. He was chased from a trans march. Wiener says he feared for his safety.
Well, that's interesting. When the hell did that happen in history where a party went socialist and anti-Semitic and terrorized the Jews? When the hell was that? Gosh darn it. What the hell was that? It was was it the Third Reich? What the heck? And it was like a Rudolf Himmler. Something like that happened. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Wow. This is what you invited into your party, Democrats. This is just amazing. This is Jonathan Greenblatt. Sounds kind of Jewish over on MSNB or MS Now. It's MS Now, by the way, talking to Mika Brzezinski. And here is Jonathan Greenblatt talking about the treatment of Wiener, because Democrats love to abuse Wieners.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Mika. I think Scott Wiener's a brave man.
And Jews.
Yeah. I don't agree with Scott Wiener on every policy. I don't think Israel committed genocide in Gaza, but he does.
Yeah.
And he called it a civilian disaster. Yeah. And he's spoken out strongly and repeatedly about the Israeli government.
But you see, he's Jewish.
And yet the sin that he committed in going to that trans rally was he's Jewish.
Yeah.
It's the same sin that Dan Goldman committed. Congressman Dan Goldman,
that's true, yeah,
who was at a coffee shop in Brooklyn last weekend. He had the sin of bringing his 7-year-old daughter into the coffee shop to get a cup of coffee so she could also use the bathroom.
Yeah, why did that happen? Why did Dan Goldman get harassed going into a coffee shop and then kicked out of the coffee shop?
And then he was harassed and humiliated online.
Yeah.
This is someone else who's spoken out repeatedly against the Israeli government, let alone sponsored Medicare for all.
But his last name is Goldman.
The Green New Deal, and was the lead prosecutor in the first Trump impeachment case.
Yeah.
But what was Dan Goldman's sin?
Was it because he wore the wrong color shirt?
Like Scott Wiener's sin? Dan is Jewish.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
look, the Democratic Party, and as you know, I worked in the Obama White House. I worked in the Clinton White House. The Democratic Party has an anti-Semitic.
What is it? Achtung Juden? Is that what they put on the windows during Kristallnacht?
Problem. And I can define it in 3 letters. The DSA.
Yeah.
The DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, they should call
National Soviet German Workers' Party.
Call it, discrimination and stereotyping and anti-Semitism.
Yeah, it is.
And I say that because we see this as the common thread that seems to link this party and their activists. They are not Democrats.
No.
But an obsession with the Jewish state seems to be the common denominator when you look at these candidates.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, look, I want to be super clear. There's problems with anti-Semitism on the right.
Here comes the moral relativism. That's a bunch of crap.
As well. Yeah. I'm not suggesting this is only a problem on the left.
No, it pretty much is.
But we see this again and again and again. We see this in these congressional...
Excluding, let's see, Tucker Carlson and Candace
races last week. And by the way, we're seeing it right here in the city of New York with the largest Jewish population in the world.
Yeah.
And we can talk about Mayor Mamdani if you like. because he has been...
Because he's an Islamist.
Gaslighting our community for years, saying he
went to a victory rally the other night. They were chanting from the river to the sea, which means wipe Israel off the face of the earth, and he didn't say anything about it.
Believes in protecting the Jewish people, but then refusing to do so in ways that all other normal politicians in the past have done. So yeah, Mika, you put it well. We have a problem. The Democratic Party has an anti-Semitism problem. It is the DSA, and it needs to deal with this in order to make its Jewish members and Americans across the country feel safe.
Yeah, leave the Democrat Party if you're Jewish. Honestly, if you don't, you're a fool. Like Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania. You remember the expression, first they came for whoever, and I said nothing. Then they came for whoever, I said nothing. Here's your dear leader in Pennsylvania, who probably will never be a presidential candidate, or at least a successful one for the Democrat Party, because the Democrat Party is so anti-Semitic, and he's Jewish.
Do you worry, though, Governor, about some of these candidates in these high-profile races in New York and now in Colorado will be elevated as representative of Democrats nationally with some of their extreme views?
I mean, look, here in Pennsylvania, folks know what...
They might come for those other people. They'll never come for us.
Pragmatism, results, and getting stuff done looks like.
Pragmatism, okay.
They see me, they see other Democrats who are doing that in our Commonwealth. Look, I want to work with anyone to get stuff done.
Even Nazis. I'll work with anybody to get stuff done until they move in and we do some things and then they take over the party and destroy us. Or even worse, who the hell knows, honestly. There's no room in any political party in America for communists, for Marxists, for those who say that we deserve 9/11, for anti-Semites who want to wipe Israel off the face of the map. There's no room in any party for this. There's no room in Congress for this. There's no room in the United States of America for this. That's all. We now have the target. We have been fighting for a decade now. We are battle-hardened, not battle-weary, and if anything, we have just begun to fight this. And if the Democrat Party does not have enough common sense to end this, then we'll take out both of you coming up in November. How's that sound? I think it sounds pretty good. Coming up, Mark Alford. He is a representative from the great state of Missouri. Friend of mine, too. Going to talk to him on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Start spreading the news. ICE is coming your way. Tom Homan will be cracking down in New York, New York. Illegals will lose freedom if they stay. There's no way ICE is backing down in New York, New York. Mom Donnie and Kathy Hochul, they do not care that illegals reside most everywhere. The sanctuary city's going away. 'Cause ICE is gonna clean it up. I mean New York, New York, like they did in D.C. They will make history just like they'll do in New York, New York, New York.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson.
Now, Democrats have a word for raging commies who want to eradicate the West, and it starts with P. Quote, Chevalier is our David Duke. Oh. She's poisoning the possibility of a Democrat majority. The numbers might back that up. Up in Maine, the nipple Nazi, he's been running as a working-class oysterman, but the state's not buying it. Yeah. Susan Collins is up 20 points with voters without a college degree.
That's true.
And there's a lot of them up there without a college degree. Real Americans never asked for communism. Overeducated liberals who don't want to work hard did. They want to take what you have, even though you earned it, and just give it away to who? Homeless drug addicts? Illegals? What a waste of money.
Yeah, that's not America, by the way. Joining us on the Newsmax hotline, friend of mine and representative from the great state of Missouri, where I resided for about a dozen years, Mark Alford. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, Rob. I'm in my vehicle traveling the district. We're back home working our district, but good to be with you as we start celebrating the 150th birthday of the greatest nation ever known to man.
Brother, I haven't been down to the Great American State Fair yet. I was going to go Saturday, but it was pouring down rain, and fortunately, like Pennsylvania, they said their governor, stick it. We're going to have we're going to be proud of our state. I can't wait to see Missouri. What is going to be in Missouri? Maybe they ought to have a special display just for biscuits and gravy.
That or barbecue from Kansas City.
Oh, brother.
I did not go down there. I wanted to, but we work, hard when we're on the hill. And
yeah.
I just fly home. I haven't seen a monument or a museum since I've been there in 3.5 years.
Well, it's I'm going to get down there. And you're right about a barbecue. Obviously, Kansas City barbecue is the greatest thing in the history, man. I can't tell you, Mark, how many times I tell people they've got to go to Kansas City. Is the Vatican of barbecue. That's all there is to it. I'm going to leave. Texas could, they can take the brisket. That's fine.
Yeah.
But Missouri owns every other thing, brother. Kansas City owns every other thing when it comes to barbecue. Let me ask you about this communism rise in the Democrat Party. I think it's great news because the Democrat Party is in a civil war. I think it divides the party in the midterms. I think it's got them panicked because not only are they being taken over, but they're broke. What are your thoughts on these four individuals now who've been won their primaries in places, including one last night in Colorado?
Well, Rob, I totally agree with you. It shows the chasm between now the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, right?
Yeah.
The Bolshevik revolution is alive and well in the Democrat Party, and they're showing their true colors. I was worried about, God forbid, losing the midterms and Hakeem Jeffries being Speaker of the House.
Yep.
I don't even know if they were to win, which I hope they don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be voted Speaker of the House. I think it would be AOC or Rashida Tlaib or some other knucklehead who hates America. That is how far they have sunk. The reasonable, rational Democrats do exist. I know some, but they're scared of their own shadow, do not want to come out and claim that they love America, want to work for America, and want to see good things for America. They want to promote scum and algae in the reflecting pool.
Yeah.
They want to promote illegal aliens voting in our elections. They have gone off the deep end. They're crazy, and the American people can see right through it.
Mark, and this is, I think it's very fortuitous, even though the 2020 election was rigged, I can say it, that Donald Trump is the president. It's the 250th year of our birth. You've got massive celebrations. The Democrat Party has done everything. Democrats, from vandalizing the reflecting pool where Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his I Have a Dream speech, throwing fence post tops into it, all of the nonsense they're pulling. I think it's going to be a very, very big mistake for them. You've got people coming in from around the world celebrating the World Cup, recognizing America is the greatest country in the history of mankind. And I think there's some serious providence happening here, Mark. I think there's a reason why this moment is happening, and I think it means a rebirth of America during our 250th year.
I certainly hope so. We need it, and we need to start acting like it, Rob. We've got enough misinformation, gaslighting from the Democrats, and especially the lamestream media going on. And believe me, I used to, I was in the media. I know it when I see it. They are definitely on the side of the Democrats.
Yep.
But Republicans and conservatives, we need to start promoting and clinging to our founding principles, our conservative values.
Yep.
And what is great about America, you and I have talked about this. We've got to restore hope in America. And every time I see President Trump, I say, sir, I know you want to make America great again. I want to help you make Americans great again. We have lost hope in this country. It's not his fault.
Nope.
He has brought about a realization of what is wrong in America, what needs to be corrected, including immigration, including Medicaid reform that we've done and saved Medicaid through the One Big Beautiful Bill.
Yep.
But we've got to start talking about what's right in America and what we're going to do in the next 2 years if the voters give us a chance to lead again in Congress.
Yeah, and I like to say, Mark, overwhelm the left with joy, patriotism, and faith. It is possible. There is a deep and resounding love for America among the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party has been brainwashing their own followers. The liberal media has been brainwashing their own followers. 94% of the coverage of Donald Trump is negative. Everything is negative. So they're, and I say we don't have to live in darkness anymore, Mark. We don't have to live in darkness anymore. I would say 80% of us in 2024 said the country was going the wrong direction. 80% of us could come together to bring our country together. And I think there are a lot of Democrats out there from the Kennedy, John F. Kennedy School. My dad was a Roosevelt Democrat who don't want this nonsense. And those are the people we can work with. Go ahead.
I run across them every day when I'm in my district, and people like who are traditional Democrats. I have Democrats now giving me money to win my race in my new district that have never given to a Republican before, because they know that I'm a reasonable, rational person who's not going to compromise, but I will negotiate to get the best deal for our district, our state, and our country. And we've got to have more of that.
Yes.
The SAVE Act is a perfect example.
Yes.
We all want the SAVE Act to pass. For God's sake, we passed it 3 times in the House.
I know.
The Senate won't pass it. They don't have the votes. John Thune doesn't have the spine to get it done. They want to cling to the filibuster to preserve their power. God bless them. President Trump wants it done. We all want it done.
We do.
But you can't keep attaching it to things like the National Defense Authorization Act, vote against the procedural rule, shut down the House floor, and we can't get our appropriations bills done. That's exactly what happened yesterday. That's why I'm home. I love being home, but we need to work. We've got to get our government funded so we don't have another Democrat shutdown at the end of September, and the media blame it on us, and we end up losing the elections.
100%. 100%. Mark Alford, can you hold through the break? Because I have much more I'd like to cover.
Sure.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about this birthright citizenship decision by the Supreme Court. One of the worst Supreme Court decisions I've ever seen. The possibility, what we can do to work around it, that is coming up. There's several things there, plus much more. We are talking to Representative Mark Alford from the great state of Missouri. Thank you very much. At X at Rep Mark Alford. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
WCBM.
Gotta rejoin.
But in most places on earth, they believe that your rights come from your government.
Yeah.
and from your laws. But ours was founded on the belief that your rights come from your Creator and from God.
I do actually think there's a really big silver lining here, and that's the simple fact that a lot of legal experts expected this case to go the wrong direction by 7-2 or even 8-1. The fact that this case was a 5-4 decision effectively means that the concept of birthright citizenship, which is an absurdity to the 14th Amendment, that concept is hanging by a thread. And so what I take from that is, yes, we've got to fix the immigration system even more. We have to be even more aware of who's coming into our country to make sure that they're not benefiting from this atrocious Supreme Court ruling. But it also means that we have to keep fighting, Laura, because we actually have an opportunity to reverse this decision, just as we've reversed so many bad decisions throughout the generations.
Yeah, it was a terrible decision by the Supreme Court. It should have been very obvious that you cannot abuse the system. Being a representative or a citizen in good standing of an enemy country, send your bride here to give birth and have that kid become an American citizen. Go back and be schooled in your communist country. Then come here, run for office, etc. Can't happen. Become a member of the National Guard. How about that? Mark Alford, representative, Missouri representative, joins us on the Newsmax hotline. What do you think about this decision and where we go from here?
Well, look, I am encouraged by Vice President Vance's analysis of that. I had not thought of that because it was gloom and doom before yesterday's announcement that this would be a very lopsided defeat for right and reasonable people in America who believe the 14th Amendment should not include anchor babies, okay? And yes, I'm going to use that term because that's exactly what happens. Illegal aliens come here or others come through a system where their country sends them here, birth tourism, and they have a baby, and boom, automatic citizen. That is not what the people who wrote the 14th Amendment, you can go back and look it up.
Yes, sir.
The congressmen, that was not the intent. The intent was to overturn the Dred Scott decision, to nullify that and make sure that slaves that had been freed, their children would be considered citizens. And it was that simple. Had they known that this craziness was going to go on, had they known that Joe Biden was going to let 15 million illegal aliens into our country, had they known that 260,000 babies would be born here in the last couple of years who are now citizens because their parents were here illegally, they would not have written it in such a manner. And so I think the Supreme Court did this justice. It is now up to us to correct it, to codify and to correct it and make it law that would not allow this to happen again.
Yeah, Andy Ogles has introduced a bill to basically prevent the pregnant women from these enemy states to come here just for the purpose of giving birth. I'm not sure how well that's going to work, but who knows? The DOJ is directing federal prosecutors across the country to step up investigations and prosecutions of so-called birth tourism schemes, arguing the practice exploits the U.S. immigration system and often involves visa fraud and other federal crimes. There are ways to go around this, Mark. There are ways to stop this. Obviously, ultimately, the constitutional amendment, which would be very difficult to do. But what do you think?
Well, yes, there are ways. Do we have the cojones to do it, though, Rob?
Yeah.
Because look at what we did when we started deporting criminal illegal aliens, and the leftists, the anarchists, Antifa, all funded, well, not all, but in part funded by George Soros and his ilk. What they did in the zeitgeist of America to create chaos, disorder, crime, people getting killed because they are interfering with federal police officers and trying to harm them, and that turned the tide and slowed our deportation process. You think that's bad? Just wait until the DOJ starts shipping off pregnant women and saying, no, you're not going to stay here. It is illegal for you to do what you're doing. There is fraud involved. You think it looked bad in the streets of Minnesota?
Yeah.
What will that look like in California when the DOJ starts going after pregnant women who shouldn't be here?
Well, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, the Democrat Party has been in a de facto war with America and the patriotic Americans. They've been using soldiers for hire in Antifa and other organizations, and now, of course, the Democrat Socialists of America. And I think it's about damn time we took the gloves off on this, Mark. I think that most Americans agree this is all falderall, all of this abuse, the abuse of the open border, etc. And I think there are enough of us who can come together to end this nonsense, to be quite honest.
Rob, I want to make very clear, this is a defining moment in our nation's history. Because we did not get the SAVE Act done, and it doesn't look like it's going to pass the Senate because they can't do their job. We passed it 4 times in the House. There will be people thinking, I can stay home this election cycle. No. It's not going to count. There's going to be fraud and cheating on the other side, so why should I bother? Let me tell you, folks, if you're listening right now, it matters. Your vote matters. We have members in just about every race in the U.S. House of Representatives that may win or lose by 10, 15 votes. John Duarte, a good friend of mine from California, lost by, I think, under 6 votes. Mary Miller Minks won by under 10 votes, her seat in Iowa. Votes matter. You must, and here's what's at stake, Rob. You think it's crazy now because the Democrats really don't have a leader? I guess Mondami's the leader of their movement right now. The communists are taking over, right?
Yep.
Come January 3rd, if we lose the majority in the U.S. House, Hakeem Jeffries will stand up in front of that flag under the sign that says about talking about God and God we trust. And we'll take the oath of the office. Hakeem Jeffries will be Speaker. Maxine Waters will get the gavel for financial services. Jamie Raskins will run the Judiciary Department, the committee, and everything will be about the impeachment of Donald J. Trump. Nothing will get done, and the crazies will only be emboldened.
Mark, we are not going to let that happen, and if it does, we aren't going to let that happen. Because we've had enough. We've been through 10 years of this crap, Mark. We are battle-hardened. Exactly. We are battle-hardened. We are not battle-weary. And by God, we aren't going to let this happen. We let all this crap, we voted all this crap out in 2024. They didn't learn anything, so now we're going to double down and kick their butts completely up between their shoulders.
We've got to win. And we have great candidates. I'm helping candidates. I'm going around the country and helping candidates win, but you've got to vote. You've got to support your candidates financially. These ads cost money. I know people are getting sick of donating to, contributing to campaigns. But that's the way you get on TV and win races.
We got to cut things off, brother. I appreciate you, and you got a place here whenever you want it. And I am a soldier. I'm a general in this army, brother. Mark Alford, Missouri Representative, Representative Mark Alford, Mark Alford on Twitter. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Yeah, I saw it, Brian. Hey, guys, it's Rob Carson with another great deal from Birch Gold. Buy some gold. Put some silver in your pocket. Hi, kids. If the Democrats win and they try any of that, you will see a country divided. And I will be on the side against those people. We will not live under this. We will not live under tyranny. That's all the way. That's just it. We will not live under socialism and communism. Sorry. We are better armed intellectually and physically. And if they want a repeat of what happened in 1776, that's what will happen. Because we aren't going to go there. Sorry, I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. But we are going to stop it before it gets to that point. 100%. We are not to be ruled. We are not going to be ruled by anyone. We are here to be represented, and we are not going to be represented by these fools. There you go. All right. Let's move on here. AOC demonizing. Well, okay. All right. Tom Homan. Hold on one second. I got to grab some audio for the break here. All right. Hello, Scott Davies. Hello, Charcoal. Hello, lots of Trump wins in South Carolina yesterday, except for Birthright Citizen, which he should have won. Yeah, I get you. You know what, you guys, we are joyful warriors. We're going to win. Good evening, my Rob, the Carson Show. Congratulations. Nice to have you there. Not where you are. I'm not sure where you are. Rob, you are a good mocker for your show. Could be a comedian for our politics. Well, I am. Yeah, that's what I do. Listen to you every day. You're doing a great job. Congratulations. Look at all these new people joining us on YouTube. Holy hell, what happened? Man, I'll tell you what. Something just blew up on Newsmax social media because we got all sorts of people joining us on the live stream from places in Panama. People watching in Panama, for God's sake. And I'm not talking about Panama, Iowa, 15 miles from my hometown. I'm talking about the country, for goodness sake. We got all sorts of people watching all over the country and around the world because people are coming here and they're loving the United States of America. There's this fantastic song. I posted on my Rumble channel, and I got it on. I'm going to put it on all of it. And it is about, it's called Welcome to America, and it's about all the people coming to America and discovering how great it is. And as far as I'm concerned, this is a giant middle finger to this Democrat Party and these Democrat socialists. I want you to listen to this. Joy, faith, and patriotism. Come on. We will not be defeated. Come on.
Flew in from across the ocean, didn't know what to expect. Saw the skyline out the window and I nearly broke my neck.
Amen.
Landed in Atlanta where the Georgia pines run green. And I said this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Pulled up to a Waffle House at 1 a.m. real late. Hash brown scattered, smothered, covered, 10 out of 10, it's great. Discovered free refills and I almost lost my mind. Found the kind of welcome that I never thought I'd find. Welcome to the land where the whole world comes to play. Flags from every nation waving proud and on display. From Boston to LA, from Dallas to the sea. 80,000 voices, this is what it means to be free. Hey! Welcome to the land.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to play more of this song next hour, but that is the theme song right there. And the rest of the world is discovering how great we are. It is the 250th birth year of the United States of America. And these commies and this Democrat Party can go straight to hell. There you go. I said it. Hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show. Coming up. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus. The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit relieffactor.com today.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show on a 4th of July week. It's a very big week in the D.C. area where I now reside. Going on nearly a year that I've lived here, and it has been something else. It's been something else, and it's beautiful. The city is beautiful. The city is crime rate is down to next to nothing. All of the fountains are working, and all the Democrat Party can do is bee and whine about it, just like a bunch of petulant little babies. They got their rear ends handed to them in 2024. They didn't learn anything. They have just been throwing a temper tantrum, no King's rallies, burning Teslas and protesting Tesla dealerships, complaining about everything. Donald Trump, in the meantime, has brought in $19 trillion worth of manufacturing back to American shores, shut down the border, is bringing peace around the world and beauty to the United States in her 250th year. And as far as I'm concerned, if you don't want to celebrate the 250th birth of our nation, and you don't want to be proud of our nation, then how about shut up? You're not invited. And I mean that sincerely. All of you who hate America and all of that. I did this video yesterday on the social media. And you look at all these soccer fans from all over the world who are coming here and realizing, my God, the bounty and the glory of this wonderful nation. It's beautiful. Every state is a different country almost, and you don't need papers to go between them. And you can get, this all sorts of food, like cuisine you've never had before, and joy, and people opening their doors and opening their arms to you, and people are shocked they can walk around without getting mugged or murdered or whatever. They love America, and I freaking love America. All right, and I got to tell you, I'm more proud of this country probably than I've ever been. Than I've ever been in my life. And I am glad that I not only was here during the 200th birth of our nation, but now the 250th. I was in elementary school the last time. And we loved America, and we celebrated Great American Melting Pot, and we celebrated no more kings, no more kings. My generation grew up with patriotic songs, Schoolhouse Rock, Pledge of Allegiance. We were proud. We were so proud when we won the 1980 Olympic hockey game, the gold medal against Russia. It was the Soviet Union at the time, and we kicked their butts. And I remember, I'm a kid. I'm like in junior high, and I'm weeping for joy. And the left in this country has done nothing but brainwash our children into thinking that it's terrible that we're a slave state. It was all a psyop. It was all a psyop by the people in this country, in this world, who hate us, for being great, because we are greater than. If you want an analogy, look at the WNBA. We're Caitlin Clark coming in here with set the world record for the most points scored in a college career, and you're coming to this, the WNBA, and it's ruled by nothing but envy and hate. That's the rest of the world. We're Caitlin Clark. Oh, you're saying we're all white. Oh, shut up. I'm making an analogy here. And you know what? When you ever have your political ideology is based on envy, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem. Here's Gad Saad talking about this the other day, and he's absolutely right. This is socialism.
The problem, though, is that the allure of socialism is always going to exist as, regrettably, a frailty of the human mind, right?
Yeah, like this moron in Colorado who was elected last night, who's never had a job. She's overeducated. She's been in college for like 12 or 14 years. She works at Starbucks. She blames the man, the system, and billionaires on the fact that she's a freaking miserable failure. And she is a miserable academic failure who's been taught to hate America. America is a colonizing country. America is a slave state and all of this, while she enjoys her Uber Eats, while mommy and daddy pay for her apartment, while the mayor of Seattle gets $10,000 a year from her mom to support her and take care of her kid, while James Tallarico shares a checking account with his mom at age 37, and while the rest of us have worked our asses off our entire lives to get where we are. I have had my rear end set in a tractor seat. I have walked fields. I have worked in cleaning out petroleum tanks of sludge. I have worked overnight in a convenience store on the Interstate 80. I have pitched bales. I have walked beans. I have shelled corn. I have sweated through my clothes more times than I could ever count. I've worked on bridge crews. She has never done a damned thing. And this Chevalier in New York City has never done a damn thing. And neither has Zohran Mandami. And we, the people, are not going to be ruled by these idiots.
Envy is one of the 7 deadly sins. And as you might imagine, socialists use our proclivity to be envious of others to say, hey,
you live in a nice house, I want free rent.
It's not fair that someone else makes...
You drive a nice car, I want free buses.
...so much money than me. Let me allow my empathetic overlords to come in and create income equality across all of us, and then
you make more than us, we need to make as much.
Hopefully we can all live in the beautiful unicornia. The problem with that, Charlie, is that it is inconsistent with human nature. Humans are a hierarchical species. Some of us are taller, shorter, harder working. So to impose an orgiastic form of egalitarianism on a species that is hierarchical is always going to fail. And that's
I remember that my first exposition to socialism. Are you ready for this? When I was in college, and you'd have these group projects in a class, and everybody is vying for the same A. And there were people in the group setting that did nothing. And you couldn't complain to the professor that Tony wasn't doing his amount of work. But the most ambitious people in the class had to carry the water for them. And I was one of those people. And I resented it. And it really pissed me off because they got the same A that I got, but I had to work my rear end off. And after a while, you're like, you know what, why even try? This happened in Jamestown, Virginia. Before the country, the Declaration of Independence, they tried it. They took everybody and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a collective. We're going to do a collective. And everybody's going to, pitch in there what they grew and what they raised, and we're all going to share it. And it turns out, guess what happened? There were a bunch of lazy ones who did nothing at all. And then there were people who really worked their rear ends off, and yet they all got the same piece of the pie. And there was resentment, and ultimately it collapsed. Well, I want you to listen to this idiot, this kid. There's a kid on social media, and she thinks she's an original thinker. And the reason why is because she has no life experience at all. She has no experience in life, has never had a job in her life, probably still in college. Listen to this. Are you ready? You better sit down for this. Listen to this original idea she has. Okay? Like this has never been tried before. Just Listen.
So I have an idea that I want to run by all of my followers on here. None of us are happy right now in this country.
I'm very happy in this country, and most of us are.
We hate our administration. The government's doing nothing for us. Things just
suck. We don't expect the government to do anything for us. We don't rely on it.
All around. People can't afford health care or rent.
I thought Obamacare was going to take care of that.
Or just basic necessities. And I kind of got to
How about get a job?
Why does it
if you can't afford it, go someplace you can.
Have to be this way? Can we...
Ready?
Just a group of people get together, buy some land, build houses, create our own little community that's separate from everything, control exports, imports.
What are you going to export?
Management of public roads, hospitals, libraries, things like that. That way, we don't have to grovel to a demented pedo for crumbs in order to do this.
We'll found a town.
Thing. No data centers would be able to be built because it would be our land that we paid for, and we're not going to give it up to build.
What are you going to build to sustain your roads and bridges and crap?
Billionaires. Essentially, it would be this free little society where we all just take care of each other, and it's groups of people from all different walks of life, different religious backgrounds.
We already did. It's called the United States of America, you idiot.
Education levels, trade skills, things like that. But we all work together.
What an original idea.
Pool our resources and then do jobs that we offer some sort of special contribution to the community.
Yeah, we already did that. But when you start leaning into sharing everything, then you're leaning into, like Jim Jones did with Guyana. He built this thing called the People's Temple. And everybody went down to the People's Temple in Guyana. And they followed this guy because he was a socialist. He was a devout communist and all of that. And they started to kind of investigate this guy, kind of a shady character. And they sent a congresswoman down there. And Jim Jones made everybody stand in line and drink Kool-Aid with cyanide in it.
I run into this lady almost every single day. She has a creepy haircut and she has a lot to say.
New Karen theme song from Tim Hawkins.
And I'm well aware that you probably know her too. So just to make it clear, I'm gonna spell that out for you.
Go to Guyana, please.
K is for the kindness that she never really had. Don't get ahead of me. A is for her attitude that's always really bad.
I'll pay for the Kool-Aid.
R is for the ruckuses she causes where she goes. And E is for the evil and everybody knows. Karen, she's a Karen. Brazen and Caucasian and a little out of touch. Karen, thanks for sharing. Karen, I'm declaring that you're Karen way too much.
I hope she's barren. That'd be nice if she was barren. Sing, Tim.
Her face turns red when she's yelling at a neighbor or screaming at a waitress like she's going into labor.
Or an ice agent.
And if you've had a bad day, she'll make it even worse. I've seen her spank children that weren't even hers. Oh, Karen, she's a Karen. Brazen and Caucasian and a little out of touch. Oh, Karen, thanks for sharing. Karen, I'm declaring that you're Karen way too much.
Yeah, I don't think she cares.
She banned a lemonade stand, they didn't have a license. She sued a haunted house because she got a little frightened. I saw her at a wedding where she booed the wedding singer. She cussed out a bridesmaid and gave the priest the finger.
She doesn't believe in God, probably. You know, could be that.
That finger.
Yeah.
She doesn't really care for you, but wants you to respect her. She loves to give opinions on the things that don't affect her. For fun, she likes to run bike riders in the ditch. She drives away laughing, and they just yell out, "Be careful, Karen!" He's a Caucasian, a little out of touch. Oh, Karen, thanks for sharing. Karen, I'm declaring that you're Karen way too much. Karen, I'm declaring that you're Karen way too much. Blaring and the staring and the overbearing swearing and you're Karen a little too much.
Yes. Liberal white women want to be America's HOA director. There you go. That is Tim Hawkins, by the way, and this is the Rob Carson Show. Hey, listen. boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me.
Sing it with me. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. How. Man, there's some fireworks on Capitol Hill yesterday. There was Angel Mom's meeting because, all of these illegal aliens have murdered so many, including right here in Northern Virginia. A woman was just going down to the bus stop and she was gutted by a guy who this local attorney let out of prison after being arrested 40 times. And we're just sick and bloody tired of it, all of the death and destruction caused by these people. And yesterday, the Pramila Jayapal and Jess Gorman, whose daughter was just murdered in Chicago, shot in the back of her head in Chicago. She just moved there not too long ago. She went out. She was a Loyola student murdered by one of Joe Biden's illegal aliens. She was there. 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman was murdered by one of these people, 25-year-old illegal alien from Venezuela who entered under the Biden regime. And here is Pramila Jayapal acting bored by the proceeding, which, this is a campaign ad for this witch. Sorry, wrong, sorry. What she did here is absolutely, utterly sickening. Listen to her. Couldn't be bothered. And then the mom.
Unfortunately, it's the fourth time in this committee that we've had a hearing on sanctuary cities. There's many other things that we could be doing other than this.
I get so upset with your butts, and you don't want to talk about this. This is the fourth hearing. Do you know what I'm thankful for? This is so messed up. I'm going to say I'm thankful. After hearing, I didn't even know what an angel family was. Had no idea, never even heard about it. There's so many out here. You know what I'm thankful for? I'm thankful that my daughter was just shot in the back of the head, not raped, murdered, dismembered, put in a garbage can like Megan Boss with bleach poured on her, and they didn't fight her for 50 days. And you can actually dismiss the angel families. You can say, but you don't want to hear four sessions on angel families. I'm sorry, you need to. I'm actually thankful that my daughter wasn't raped. How messed up is that? That I'm thankful every day that she was just murdered, not raped and dismembered. Think about that. How messed up is that? Do you know what I thought of this morning when I got up? What the joy of, anyone have a baby here? The joy of picking out their first outfit that they're gonna wear on their ride home from the hospital. I had to pick out my daughter's last outfit, and she was a fabulous dresser. We had 100 people come to our home, 100 friends and family came to her home. We had her cremated, actually, after. And they all decorated her urn with rhinestones. All of them put it on there. She is fabulous, even in death. But the first time, all the excitement of having a child and then having people make excuses and buts. I'm sorry. This is unacceptable. There are so many angel families out here. And the day that I have to wake up and be thankful that my daughter was only shot and not raped should tell you something.
The Democrat Party couldn't be bothered. This is more from Jess Gorman.
She was worth protecting. She was worth saving. And she was worth your brave vote. To all of those who have supported us, who have prayed for us, who have cried with us, and to those who have had the courage to speak out and say Sheridan's name, thank you. Because every time you say her name, you give a piece of her back to us. You remind the world that Sheridan was not a talking point. She wasn't a statistic or a headline. She was our daughter. She will always be my sweet sunshine. And if the people who failed her would rather look away, then I'm asking the rest of you to look right at her. Here she is. There's she and I. Here she is. This is taken the day before she died. Say her name, tell her story, and demand better. Because my Sheridan Grace Gorman should still be alive. And no mother should have to stand where I am standing, begging elected leaders to value my child's life after it's already too late. I cried when I came into the room. I saw this poster that you made. It says, at every stop, the system had a chance to stop him. At every step, it failed. And my daughter paid for those failures, your failures, with her life. No family should ever have to bury a child because public officials fail to put American lives first. I'm just asking you to choose us. We choose you. We choose you. Choose us. Why does my child matter less than an illegal immigrant? Why?
I've never heard something that's one of the most powerful things I've ever heard from someone. My daughter's 20 years old. She's living with me. I can't even imagine the pain. And yet here is Jamie Raskin and Mike Lawler, and he tries to equivocate two people trying to kill ICE agents and getting shot or run over with this beautiful girl.
So while some of my colleagues may not want to hear the truth, the same outrage you feel about Renee Good and Alex Preddy, you should feel about Sheridan Gorman and Laken Riley and every Angel family in this country.
I do feel that outrage.
You do not. Because if you did, you would not support sanctuary
jurisdiction. Do you feel the outrage about Alex
You should be
Preddy and
ashamed
Renee
of
Good?
yourself.
You should be
ashamed
You don't
of yourself,
belong in this committee.
Jamie.
You should get the hell out of
You're a
here.
disgrace.
You don't understand the rules of the committee.
disgrace.
You don't understand the Constitution.
Sheridan Gorman never attacked an ICE agent with a vehicle and tried to run him over. Sheridan Gorman didn't bring a handgun to assault ICE officers and assault them for weeks preceding. Utterly ridiculous. What a grand exposition of the awfulness of the Democrat Party and Pramila Jayapal in particular. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Two girls that Swalwell groped before. They say there's 50, maybe more. It's a sordid tale. Eric should be in jail for all the girls he groped before. It finally forced his resignation. He left the Congress in disgrace. And now we have an explanation why female staffers carried mace. To all the girls that he attacked, and to the women who fought back, Swalwell needs to pay. Arrest Eric today for all the girls that he attacked. To all the years that he should serve, a prison stay he does deserve.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now back to the Rob Carson Show, presented by Paramount Plus.
Here's a little bit more of that exchange between Mike Lawler and Jamie Raskin.
Sheridan Gorman and Laken Riley and every Angel family in this country.
I do feel that outrage.
You do not. Because if you did, you would not support sanctuary jurisdiction.
Do you feel the outrage about Alex Freddie and Renee Good? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, Alex Freddie was insane. He kicked out the tail light of an ICE vehicle weeks before. He brought a gun to a police action, and he got shot.
Committee, you should get the hell out of here.
Renee Pretty was insane. She moved to Canada, upset her children because Donald Trump got elected, came back here, and she and her wife shadowed the police and interrupted ICE and interrupted them, and she tried to run over one of the ICE agents.
You don't understand the rules of the committee. You don't understand the Constitution.
You're a disgrace.
Mr. Raskin,
You're an absolute disgrace supporting sanctuary
policy. Say one word about Alex Freddie.
Yeah, they also said, whenever you bring up summer 2020, $2 billion worth of damage, 30 people killed, hundreds of police officers, they say January the 6th was violent. There was almost no damage done to the Capitol on January the 6th, and it was a setup. They do this crap all the time. And they try to take away from this beautiful woman, Angel Mom Jessica Gorman, yesterday, and they did a bloody face plant. They did. Here is Mike Lawler after this exchange with Jamie Raskin. Gosh darn, I did it again.
Well, first of all, if you heard the opening statements of Pramila Jayapal and Jamie Raskin, it was absolutely outrageous.
That's how you pronounce it. Yeah.
It was disgusting, and it insulted those Angel families that were sitting there.
Yep.
As Jessica Gorman just said in her testimony, they said, "We're sorry for your loss, but."
Yeah.
There's no but. Sanctuary policies are the reason their daughter is dead. How anybody can support allowing criminal aliens to stay in this country and prohibiting local and state law enforcement from cooperating with federal officials is beyond measure.
Yeah, beyond measure. And the Democrat Party were just bothered by it. They just seem to be bothered by it. We're doing another hearing on this. Are we going to do another hearing on this? Oh, my gosh, are we going to do another hearing about this? Unbelievable. And it's happening all over the damn country. It's happening all over the country. And Americans are just sick and damn tired of it. Really, really sick and damn tired of it. Here is Mike Lawler talking about the governor of the state of New York, Kathy Hochul.
You have the governor of New York, who decides that she's going to ban the ability of state and local police from cooperating with federal law enforcement on the issue of immigration enforcement, and specifically honoring detainer requests, and specifically turning over people who are in New York's jails for committing crimes under state law, refusing to cooperate and turn them over to federal immigration officials.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear anything from any of them. They are so full of it's not even funny.
Yeah, the Democrat Party is doing a death spiral into hell. And this turn and allowing these Democrat socialists into the party will assure the demise of the party. I predicted this. You know I've been saying this for years. They're doing a death spiral into hell, and they're going to have to either fix themselves or disappear into the dustbin of history. They're leaning into the dustbin. But the great thing is you've motivated us even more. You've motivated us even more to absolutely kick your rear end up between your shoulders. Okay. We wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it weren't for a strong foundation set by the framers. Hamilton built America's financial foundation on the principle of sound, stable money, a principle later embodied by the gold standard, abandoned in 1971, and since we've seen inflation erode the dollar's value and, of course, spending and printing money, etc. What is the foundation of your savings? Is it built on metal? No. Is it something that can be shaken, disrupted, devalued, or just does nothing? My 401k was that way. I said, I'm done. I'm going to go with gold on this one. Gold came down from a high in January. I saw a spot to buy Birch Gold. Got Birch Gold on the phone, said, here's what I got in my 401k. They did a phone call with me on the line with the proprietors of my 401k. They did the exchange, and now I'm going to let it ride for a decade. I'm going to let it ride for 10 years. Because in the last 10 years, we've seen gold rise from $1,200 to now in the mid-4,000s. A-plus rating for the BBB, countless 5-star reviews. Birch Gold will help you build that foundation in gold. What you got to do is just text my name, Rob, to 989898. Rob to 989898. You're going to get information, no obligation. Maybe you need to shore up that foundation. Text Rob to 989898. That's Rob to 989898. Mark Wayne Mullen talking about what the Biden administration did to hundreds of thousands of children. We haven't even begun to hold the people who did this accountable, and by God, we need to hold them accountable. When we retain the House and add members, when we retain the Senate and add members, there are going to have to be trials like Nuremberg for this.
These individuals that the Democrats seem to want to defund, but because of President Trump, we finally funded them for 3 years. We're able to push and go find these kids. We found 146,000 kids so far. 146,000 kids. We still have nearly 300,000 missing. We're investigating reports to where some of these kids claim that they were raped 600 to 700 times. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have kids, if you don't have kids. I don't care if you're a liberal, you're independent, you're a Democrat. The
same thing happened in Great Britain. We find out that illegal migrants came in, Islamists from Pakistan, for a decade, raped and trafficked 250,000 white women, native Britons, and the government didn't do a damned thing about it. This is evil. These people are made of the same cloth. They are the same type.
Republican, if you can't stand for law enforcement to go find these kids, who are you? Who are you? Every leader should understand what's going on. And do you know where we're finding the most of them? Sanctuary cities.
Yeah, there you go. That's it, sanctuary cities. And the sanctuary cities are going to have to go bye-bye. Here's Jim Jordan yesterday talking about the insanity of sanctuary cities.
We don't want to coerce anyone. We just want to stop the stupid policy of sanctuary jurisdiction that led to the tragedies that these families are going to testify and talk about today. The gentlelady from Washington, the ranking member, said this is the 4th hearing on sanctuary jurisdiction. I'll have 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll have whatever amount of hearings it takes to stop a policy that is so ridiculous. Because understand, never forget what sanctuary jurisdiction is in the simplest of terms. Politicians tell local law enforcement, like Sheriff Redmond, don't work with federal law enforcement in enforcing federal law. That is dumb. And it's not only dumb, it results in bad things happening to
I was mentioning earlier in Northern Virginia, earlier this year, a woman named Stephanie Mentor. She just went to the bus stop a couple miles from here, and she was gutted by a guy named Abdul Jallo, Sierra Leone national, in the country illegally. had 40 charges against him in Fairfax County, ranging from rape, stabbings, assault, and more. The Fairfax Commonwealth attorney, Steve Descano, convicted Jallo of a malicious wounding charge. Then Descano's office dropped most of the man's other charges, and he went out and killed this woman at a bus stop, and now nobody remembers her name. I'm not forgetting it. We've had enough. Now we know who we're fighting. Now we have a target. Now we can proceed with destroying it. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
If you are a woman from China who comes over, you are subject to the jurisdiction of China. That's pretty clearly written in the text of the 14th Amendment. I'm a textualist, though. You go on and it says that you are subject to the state wherein you reside. If you are a woman from China who comes over to give birth in this country, you are not residing in a state. You are a visitor. It is very clear, the text on the page, which is why Thomas got this right. It's why Alito got this right. It's why Gorsuch got this right.
That's why they were in the minority.
This is a hugely important decision because it only takes a few brain cells to answer this question. Do you think the founders, or the framers, I should say, of the 14th Amendment intended for 4.13 billion women in the world to have the right to come over here?
That's Kayleigh McEnany, and of course not.
Give birth and become a citizen. Did they envision 4.13 billion new citizens potentially in a theoretical world? No, but that is essentially what the majority is saying today. It is totally ludicrous. That would include children from hostile nations. You think the framers of the 14th Amendment wanted people from China or Russia? We've learned Russia's sending people over here to have babies, to become U.S. citizens, and then go back and be educated in the CCP. Do we need 1 to 1.5 million new voters educated by the Chinese Communist Party? I think not, but that is the estimate of birth tourism from China alone. John Sower pointed that out in his oral.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. The Department of Justice directing federal prosecutors across the country to step up investigations and prosecutions of so-called birth tourism schemes, arguing the practice exploits the U.S. immigration system. I'm tired of being peace-slapped by the third world. How about you? All of the fraud and now this. In a memo sent out Tuesday, Deputy Attorney General Colin McDonald ordered federal prosecutors across the country to team up with Homeland Security, make these cases a priority. Officials say foreign nationals are lying on visa applications or misleading border agents about why they are traveling to the U.S. Also, they can give birth here and automatically secure American citizenship for the children. You didn't deserve it, and you've got to earn it. That's it. The memo points to two recent prosecutions. 2 years ago, Michael Wei Liu and Jin Dong were each hit with a 41-month prison sentence. They ran a California-based company called Happy Baby Inc., which sounds like a bad Chinese restaurant, doesn't it? Like Happy Family, yeah, which helped Chinese clients secure fake visas, hide their pregnancies from border agents, and set up housing in the U.S. The directive also points to a 2022 case in New York. Ibrahim Aksakal got 27 months for running a birth tourism ring that targeted Turkish speakers. Prosecutors say his operation gave pregnant women a script on how to bypass immigration officials. We're done with this crap. We're done with this stinking crap. Here is Stephen Miller. Oh, my goodness, it's Miller time, baby. Here is Stephen Miller on this bad Supreme Court decision on birthright citizenship.
Well, I had two feelings. First, the fact that it was 5-4, so agonizingly close, just underscored that the legal community on the right and left has been so wrong for so many years, saying this was going to be a 9-0 ruling against President Trump. The heartbreaking part of this is thinking about what it means for America over the long term. Well, the short term and the long term. Look, President Trump won some massive, unprecedented victories with the Supreme Court, like the Haitian TPS ruling, the asylum ruling, the slaughter ruling, giving him unfettered authority to terminate federal bureaucrats. But this is absolutely a deep knife wound in the heart of the American Republic. Look, Jesse, I can step tomorrow onto the deck of a 747. It does not mean that I am the pilot of that plane and I'm qualified to fly it. Just physically being on U.S. soil does not make you a citizen or qualified to carry on or capable of executing the inheritance of this country. We have people from all over the world, from third world nations that on their own would have never invented the wheel, let alone modern technology, let alone medicine, let alone air travel. And they can just come into the country, have a baby at a hospital, paid for by you and me, and then that baby's automatically a citizen. That baby can sit on a jury when he turns 18 and sit in judgment of you, and sit in judgment of me, and sit in judgment of our loved ones, can decide who our mayors are, our governors are, our presidents are. Citizenship means nothing if it is open to everyone.
And there has to be a way to go around this. And by God in heaven, we will find it.
The idea that you can have a cruise ship filled with foreigners and they just dock at a port for an hour and someone has a baby, Jesse, the baby's an American citizen. They can vote in every election for the rest of their lives. They can be living in a foreign country and cashing welfare checks from American citizens.
This is what the Democrats did when Joe Biden was the president. They filled a Trojan horse on the other side of our border with our enemies and brought it in.
Look, I know that some of the justices who worked on this, they think that they're so
There's no defending this at all. Intellectually, there is no defending this.
Intelligent. There is no.
And I would say judicially as well, constitutionally as well.
Possible reading of the 14th Amendment that applies to foreigners with foreign loyalties, foreign citizenship, foreign obligations, foreign everything. And here's another point. Here's a pretty good clue your constitutional interpretation is wrong. If your ruling requires you to suicide your civilization, your reading of the Constitution is wrong. President Grant and the congressman in the 19th century did not want to create an automatic third world citizenship requirement for America. It's an abomination, but let's thank President Trump, because of President Trump's courage and leadership, we are now on the precipice. Yes, we were dealt a setback, but because of his courage alone, we're on the precipice as a nation of being in a position to end this travesty once and for all.
And we are. You have awakened a sleeping giant. We have a bunch of idiots on the Supreme Court, and one Karen named Amy, actually. What a big disappointment. Amy Coney Barrett.
Amy Coney Barrett, she keeps darting left.
Jim Gossett is the president.
The birthright decision was clearly a mistake that Amy made. She joined Roberts and the Liberals 5-4.
Yeah, big surprise.
I don't think that we can trust her anymore.
Never could.
Amy, what did you just do? To me, you have not been true. Don't believe anything we hear from you.
Come on, James.
Amy got appointed and then moved hard left. Just like David Souter and so many justices before. It surprised me, I must confess. Amy is John Roberts in a dress. Amy, why did you pretend?
Another hit.
Conservatives you don't defend. It turns out you're a lefty in the end.
Jim Gossett, Patreon.com, Jim Gossett. Count us. Take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. That was a good one. There's a good one. How you doing, guys? That was a good one. Hello, Kathy. Cold beer goes great on a hot day. Yeah, it did. I enjoyed myself some beer at one point. Don't anymore. Don't really need it. It's kind of cool. It's weird. I'm not a, you know, I don't like saying, oh, I'm an alcoholic. No, I just stopped drinking. I was very fortunate. I had a miracle happen, but I'm not a buzzkill. I mean, if you want to hang around me, you can drink all the beer you want. I'll be your designated driver. Just don't act like a fool. Kevin, hello. Never relent. That's true. Kevin, Goodamoot. Never relent. Never give up. Never surrender. 100%. I support ICE and Donald Trump 100%. Thank God for him. Gary McGovern, me too. We're going to win, guys. You've given us focused. The left has given us focus. Focus and fire, and we're not going anywhere. And the great thing is it's the 250th anniversary of our birth, so it's reminded us how great this country is. I'm going to play a little bit more of that song from earlier. How's that sound? Didn't you like that? I'll play a little bit more of that FIFA song because it's so good. I think I'm going to do that. Do you mind if I do that? I don't think it's a bad idea. It's a pretty good idea. How are your mice doing? They're gone, Chief Sinbad. Thank you very much. Sweet tea's good on a hot day. You know what's really weird? When I was growing up as a kid, I was a Midwesterner, and we drank sweet tea all damn day, and we were very Southern influence. You know, my mother made fried chicken 4 times a week, and fried green tomatoes, and we had a very Southern upbringing, and also kind of leaned into the African American because we had grape Kool-Aid. Love me some grape Kool-Aid. I didn't know that was a black thing until recently. Is it really? I'm like, grape Kool-Aid's my favorite. It's weird.
2.5 here.
This is not an EV, and it never will be. But you know, I was kind of looking at are you ready for this? There's this little campground on the other side of the Bay Bridge, and it's a trailer park. Okay, it's a trailer park essentially. You can do an Airstream or you can do a mobile home, and they got some units over there, and I'm thinking about getting one. Yeah, living in a mobile home. It'll be just like when I grew up, and my sister lived on our property in. Are you ready? It doesn't get more. Are you ready? Go ahead. White Trash Olympics. Bring it. lived on a property on a farm. My sister lived in a mobile home on our property and was in a romantic relationship with my stepbrother. I mean, does it get any more? I mean, honestly, does it? Does it? You know, that was my upbringing. I'm looking at this it's basically a mobile home. And you know what? I'm going to get a golf cart. I'm going to have a golf cart and I'm going to tool around, and then they got a swimming pool, and the kids come, you know, and they visit during the summer and everything. And I'm going to go there on the weekends. I'm going to do a cool golf cart. I'm going to get one of those ones that looks like a Hummer. That's what I'm going to do. I want to do one of those. I am going to do that. I mean, you would have a real hard time out white trashing my family. Boy, we had it all then. We had it all. We had. You walked into our house. Are you ready for this? And my mother was very intelligent, but we were rural. You walk in the house, right into the kitchen, and to the left is the laundry and the bathroom. And above the laundry is a shotgun rack with 2 shotguns. And then you go into Mom and Dad's room, and above the dresser is a shotgun rack and 2 shotguns. Mom kept a gun in her drawer. Dad kept a handgun in his drawer. You know, I can go on and on. We would go out, and my brother he was a police officer, and he'd bring home all these guns to shoot, and we'd shoot pumpkins off fence posts. Yeah, that's my upbringing. I know. It's fantastic. And it's not necessarily white. We had black people come out and hang out at our house all the time and everything, so it was just kind of rural. And it was kind of cool, and I'm grateful for it. I did put up a meme yesterday that I wrote about the National State Fair here in Washington, D.C. I said the only thing it's missing is a roadie like a carny like Joe Dirt and a demo derby. We need a carny like Joe Dirt and a demo derby, maybe a monster truck show or a tractor pull on the mall. Would that be the deal? It would be the deal. Let's take a break and come back. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show is right ahead. Do not go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus. The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent, twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Now, you are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. Final hour of the show. People are trying to out-white trash me on the live chat on Rumble. Yeah, well, we raised. Hold on, here's one. Hold on, this is from. Hold on, one here. Wild Bill West raised cattle, but come fall, everyone got a deer tag. I remember 6 hanging in the equipment shed. There you go. All right, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's all right. I mean, I got better stories. Mine are crazy. Oof. I mean, I could just go on and on. We would dress our chickens in the fall, 450 of them every fall, and my oh boy, no, I better not tell you that. It's brutal. I called it the silence of the chickens. It was very brutal. And then my mother would serve chicken. Boy. I'm not upset at my rural upbringing though. It was a very good thing. Oh yeah, one time here's a story. Somebody says possum stew. Possum stew. No, but one time my dad would feed these squirrels in the front yard, and one day he goes out with a .22 and just kills one of them, and then he field dresses the damn squirrel right there, and I'm like, Dad, how hungry are you? But he was a Depression era baby. He was a World War II veteran. He was old enough to be my grandfather, and that was just kind of a reflex for him because you couldn't go to the 7-Eleven. You can go to the grocery store. When he was growing up, I mean, he was dirt poor. He was dirt poor growing up. He had dirt floor probably in his first home. He was born in 1922. And I'm like, okay. So I don't know. No squirrel. No. No. Kind of a nutty flavor though. Yeah, it's got to be in my book. I'm writing a book. It's called Homeboys, Hillbillies, and Hebrews: How We Came Together to Save America. And listen, it's kind of interesting because if you look at, for instance, lower middle class to poor people in the country, I don't care if you're white or you're black, there are very deep similarities in both cultures, expressed a little bit differently. But they're very, 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 very similar. I learned this early on. My family, it was interesting in Iowa. In the 1970s, as a little kid, we watched All in the Family. We watched Roots. Roots was amazing. We gathered around for Alex Haley's Roots. Oh my God, it was earth-shattering. It was amazing. I'll never forget it. I remember Kunta Kinte, Chicken George, all that. You know that? I was 10 years old. I remember that, and we watched the Jeffersons, and we just laughed. And then Sanford and Son, it was one of our favorite shows. We loved Sanford and Son. And then my dad would have his buddy George come out. George and his wife Robbie would come out. They're black people, and their son Chip, his name is Chip, and we just hang out and play. We just played. I didn't think of him as a black person. I didn't think of him as a black kid. I just thought of him as a kid. Had a hell of a time. Then we go into their house. It was I don't know, all this division, strife, and nonsense is ridiculous. All a psyop. We live in the greatest country in the history of mankind, and it's a great place to live. I feel blessed to be here, and those of you who fought to be here, and those of you who went through the immigration process and love this country and work very hard. We all love America, and the people who don't are the people who are spoiled, entitled academics and leftists and Democrats and people who have come here just to take from us. And you know what? They're not going to win. They're not going to win. It's kind of interesting. The birthright citizenship thing. And then listen, if you're a Democrat, the only reason you'd be against birthright citizenship is if you want our country to fall. If you want America to fall, and there are many Democrats who do. That's why they support it. They want America to fall. This isn't about an American melting pot. This isn't about making the country better like it always has been. And by the way, we've always been a country of immigrants. I'm the son of immigrants. Shut up. We're all the sons of immigrants. All of our ancestors were immigrants. And this isn't anything new. But this birthright citizenship is nothing more than an attempt to stuff a Trojan horse with our country's enemies and take it down. And that's why Democrats like it. That's it. But all of a sudden, the Democrat Socialists of America come along and they're spewing it out loud, and the Democrats are freaking out, even though it's what they want. But the difference with this Democrat Socialist is these guys, number one, are anti-Semites. They're filthy anti-Semites. And that's really, really dangerous. Really dangerous. Here's Harry Reid. Remember Harry Reid? They got an airport named after him in Las Vegas, even though he's a complete piece of crap. Here he is in 1993 saying, we cannot have birthright citizenship.
If making it easy to be an illegal alien isn't enough, how about offering a reward for being an illegal immigrant? No sane country would do that, right? Guess again. If you break our laws by entering this country without permission and give birth to a child, we reward that child with U.S. citizenship and guarantee of full access to all public and social services this society provides.
That's 33 years ago. That's a Democrat. But that's like the only example you have, right?
Did you have a
hold on.
system where
this is Dianne Feinstein, same year.
people can come to this country,
Yeah.
even if they're well-to-do,
Yeah.
get on Medicaid and give birth to a baby and then go back? The answer is no. And we know
Yeah, Democrats figured out to make those into Democrat votes, though.
that Medicaid laws are being used and abused to do just this. In the
33 years ago, we got trillions of dollars in Medicaid abuse because of illegal.
state of California. I'd like to see that stopped.
I mean, listen, that's the only other person in the Democrat Party who would say that, right? I mean,
Gentleman, salute him for his work on this, rise in support of the amendment. First of all, Social Security card is used for...
Oh, this is Chuck Schumer in 1996.
One end of America to the other is an identification card right now. Who are we kidding?
That's 30 years ago.
If you want to pass a law and says it shouldn't be, I would ask the chairman and the distinguished minority member of the Social Security committee to pass that law. But let's admit that.
That's what I'm talking about, voter ID. You know, it's kind of interesting. See, the Democrat Party figured it out after Barack Obama became the president. They could make those people into votes and overthrow the country. That's why they like it so much. It's a little bit ridiculous. What are we going to talk about here? Let's talk about transgender athletes. There was finally some common sense. I put a video on all my social media today about this ruling by the Supreme Court. Sends it back to the states. Some idiots in some states will still deny and allow boys to compete in girls' sports and destroy their sports. I don't think it's going to be very long-lived because Americans are against this by about 99%. But that said, here's ABC freaking out yesterday on the wrong side of history and obviously also on the wrong side of ratings about Donald Trump and getting rid of boys. And by the way, have you noticed there are no athletes born women who are in the NBA, the NHL, the MLB, any professional sport, any college sport whatsoever, maybe ping pong, but it never happens. You know why? Because this has always been a scam.
There is not a speech that goes by where the president does not talk about transgender athletes. This is clearly a big win.
Yeah, because it's important because it's ruining a lot of women's lives.
For him today.
Yeah, Kira, rarely does a day go by here at the White House when the president doesn't rail against the participation of transgender female athletes in girls and women's sports.
Yeah, you lost this one.
The president really leaning
because it's freaking common sense
into this national debate. He feels this is a winning issue for him politically, and this is a win for him.
Yeah, it's a gigantic win for common sense and decency, to be quite honest. I gotta play. This is Rob Finnerty last night. Finnerty on Newsmax is absolutely brilliant. He is funny. He delivers. He's pithy. He's got common sense. Listen to his take on the 3 idiot Karen Supreme Court justices who voted for keeping boys and girls sports.
Of men playing in women's sports. 54 years and a week to 3 women who are the perfect example of the left in this country today. Anti-Trump, anti-America. 3 women who ruled in favor of men playing in women's sports. 54 years and a week to the day after Richard Nixon signed Title IX into law. 3 women appointed by Obama.
You know why Title IX was brought in? It's because women in sports in college would go to play their sports in college, and all of the money went to the men's team, and they struggled or couldn't even establish teams. They had no place to become athletes and all of this, and they wanted to level the playing field. Level the playing field.
And Biden think that men have the right to compete in sports, beat the crap out of women on the field or on the court, and then change in their locker room with the girls after the game. Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson cared more about hurting Donald Trump today than they did about helping women. Then again, what do you expect when one of those women doesn't exactly know what a woman is?
Oh, yeah.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
adult female. There, I can be a Supreme Court justice. Oh, my God. I found this soundbite from Bob Costas a while back.
This news today about the IOC basically banning trans athletes, that there's going to be a genetic test.
Yeah.
Your reaction to that and this very complicated issue?
Common sense is not transphobic.
What?
There's a reason why the high school champions don't compete with the college champions. There is a reason why no trans man who was once a woman and has become a man has ever competed successfully with men in the Olympics. If Caitlin Clark could play in the NBA, everybody would applaud it. That'd be an incredible thing. But if the last guy on the bench of an NBA team went to the WNBA and started averaging 40 points a game, everyone would know that is BS.
The best high school male athlete could beat her completely into the ground.
There's a reason why Sugar Ray Leonard, who was a contemporary of Mike Tyson, didn't fight Mike Tyson. They were in different weight classes. There is a reason why there are men's and women's sports, and why Title IX was one of the truly progressive pieces of legislation in the best sense of the word progressive under the Nixon administration. It changed everything. I had a sister who never played a single organized sport. One generation later, 2 children of my own. My daughter played just about as many organized sports as my son. That's a great thing. It doesn't make any sense to have a swimmer who was the 472nd ranked swimmer when he was a man at Penn, either winning or coming close to winning against women a year and a half after transitioning. If that's what the person wants to do, that person should be treated with dignity and respect. But there ought to be common sense, and common sense is not transphobic.
100%. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
News on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Dig in.
Relentlessly slowing the spread of the stupid every day. It's the Rob Carson Show.
The Supreme Court has allowed states to be as cruel as they want to be to transgender people. They've also allowed states like Minnesota to be as kind and welcoming as they can. So I view
you guys are just stupid.
This as a mixed bag. We're going to view it as a positive.
Hey, let's not bring your wife into this.
Considering what maybe could have been done. The Supreme Court ruled that we can continue to treat our transgender athletes and youth with dignity and humanity and respect.
No. See, but they just don't give a damn about girls. That's the thing here. Here's CNN's Laura Coates refusing to say biological male.
This is a monumental decision, not unexpected, however, given how the oral arguments went. Here was the crux of the issue. It was whether or not somebody who was assigned the male gender at birth would be
allowed, because they had a penis and testicles,
allowed to play in a traditionally so-called girls' sports
it's not assigned, it's just duh.
Public or high school or, of course, in the college setting. The argument that they were using to support a ban was that there was an unfair advantage provided to those assigned male at birth in women's competition.
Oh, my God!
The other side said, no, this is sex-based discrimination, and it violates the...
All right, here, I got an idea, Laura. How about you and I arm wrestle for $1,000? I'm a 60-year-old man. Laura Coates, you're much younger than me. I will arm wrestle you for $1,000. Now, hell, let's make it $100,000. Let's see. I can do dumbbell curls with 55-pound dumbbells. So yeah, $100,000, Laura Coates. Honestly, one day the Democrat Party and whoever did this will wake up from. No, I don't know if they ever will, but they need to live in shame. That's why I did stuff like this.
When you're a man who calls himself a girl,
because I made fun of it from day one.
It can be a boner.
Because it's just for bad male athletes to beat girls.
When you compete with women, you have to hide.
And male criminals getting into women's prisons to rape them.
Ooh, that pair of cojones.
And perverted men to get into locker rooms with girls.
I can cycle against the girls, that's my choice.
It's an affront to women.
I can steal their medals with this manly voice, cause the left makes me feel. The left makes me feel. The left makes me feel like a transgender woman. When I compete with females, I'm the one that's feared, 'cause I'm the only person in the race with a beard. But somehow I feel the left makes me feel. They make me feel like a transgender woman.
Big finish.
Woman.
I guess they're going to do prostate exams for women. I should open a practice. I should open a practice for a trans. I don't want to get the degree, and I'm not really into sticking my finger someplace. There you go. We would not be celebrating. I'm just going to leave it alone. We wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it wasn't for a strong foundation set by the framers. Hamilton built America's financial foundation on the principle of sound, stable money, a principle embodied by the gold standard. We abandoned that in 1971, and of course, inflation and spending and printing money and all that caused your money to be worth a whole lot less. Birch Gold has been helping Americans solidify their savings with gold the last 15 years. They'll help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Learn how gold fits into your portfolio. Text my name, Rob, to the number 989898. There you go. You'll receive a free, no-obligation info kit, A-plus rating from the BBB, and countless five-star reviews, including from this guy right here. Right here, I'm pointing to myself. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for details. This is an interview I saw online with a guy who used to be a shelter at a Haitian refugee center in Massachusetts.
My name is John Featherson. I'm a former migrant shelter director in Massachusetts. I helped out in a couple different sites. Everything is free. I cannot stress the word everything is free.
Wow.
Everybody has a nice car. Most of them have nice cars. But when they have a doctor's appointment in Boston, or they have a immigration hearing in New Hampshire, which is an hour and a half away, you think they use their own car? Nope. They say, oh, I need an Uber. As good as Lyft and Uber had it.
His shelter would spend $100,000 to Uber Haitian refugees to their medical appointments, which were free.
Amazon had it 10 times better.
Yeah, they just ordered anything they want off Amazon, and taxpayer picked it up.
Anything that they needed, they got.
Now, as I continued my way around the shelter, I noticed this school bus.
That is free daycare provided to the shelter. It's mind-boggling, isn't it? As the hotel got overtaken by migrant families, there was not enough capacity, and there were fights breaking out over washers and dryers. So the state contracted this company to come in 5 days a week and do everybody's laundry.
What?
You put your laundry out by 7 o'clock, and it's back by 5 o'clock. And it all comes back folded in these nice bags. And it's free.
Now, wait. This all happened in 2016. These migrants came for 2016 because of the earthquake, right? No.
And, the media wants to make it sound like most of the residents are escaping, the horrors of Haiti. But they go, well, I was in Chile for 10 years after the
earthquake.
The earthquake in Haiti. And you're like, what? So you didn't leave Haiti like this year? No, I left 10 years ago and I went to Chile.
What?
And then they made us work. So then we went to Brazil and we were content in Brazil. And I'm like, well, why'd you come to America? Well, we came to America because Joe Biden told us everything was free.
Well, there you go. A lot of these Haitian refugees did not come here in 2016. They came here because they ran out of freebos in other countries, then came here because Joe Biden opened the floodgates for the reason of giving them everything free, giving them Social Security cards, and then being able to say, oh, yeah, we need to make these people citizens of the United States right away. We've got to expedite their citizenship. Yeah, it was stuffing a Trojan horse with our country's enemies and sending it across the southern border. It was seditious and treasonous. People will have to pay eventually. Judd Dunning, radio host, Newsmax contributor, joins us on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. In a world of espionage, truth is a moving target, and every decision carries a dangerous consequence. This new mission explores what it means to live as a double agent. Twice the lies, twice the risk. The lines between ally and enemy blur like never before, and survival depends on trusting no one. Starring Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Richard Gere. Don't miss The Agency. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
I always accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. With me, there is no in between. State of the Union scored, approval rate how it has soared. Democrats cannot afford to take me for granted anymore. Inflation's low, employment's high. The Dow Jones, it is headed for the sky. Borders secure, illegals aren't jetting in. That's why I accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. With me there is no in between.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's why I switched to Ghost Bed. Helps keep you cool all night, no waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. You get incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. I got my Ghost Bed about 6 months ago, and it changed my life. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference for yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is currently having their 4th of July sale, offering my audience an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson, promo code Carson.
Now back to the Rob Carson Show, presented by Paramount Plus.
Here come the judge.
Here come the judge.
We will not wait to take the fight to Donald Trump and the oligarchy. We will not wait. We will not wait to abolish ICE. We will not wait to put an end to the politics of the past, to get big money out of our politics, and to reject corporate PACs and AIPAC. And no, we will not wait to end the genocide in Palestine.
Oh, my God in heaven. Milat Kiros, she won in against a Democrat who's been in office for 16 terms in Colorado. She that wasn't her speech accepting the assistant manager position at Starbucks. She actually won a congressional primary, and she's going to be running against a Republican. She has no life experience. She's been in jail. Dear God, wouldn't that be wonderful? In school, in college for like a dozen years, and works as a barista. Yeah, I know. You thought we couldn't get dumber and less life experience than AOC. This is your Democrat Party. Joining to talk about this and so much more is Judd Dunning, radio host and Newsmax contributor, author of 13 and a half Reasons Why Not to Be a Liberal and How to Enlighten Others. Judd Dunning, how are you on this glorious Wednesday, sir?
It is glorious indeed. Good to be back, Rob. Thanks a lot, buddy.
I think it's glorious. I've said that the Democrat Party is doing a death spiral into hell, and guess what? They just expedited it. You've got these Democrat socialists coming in. While I am concerned, they have divided the party, and it's not going to strengthen their position going into the midterms. What do you think?
Oh, look, I think it's Make America Honest Again time right now. I think the push is for anti-corruption. I think the more that we get disgusted with the left, the more that we see the clarity of the truth, what Tulsi's doing, what the fraud council's doing, what's happening with COVID, what's happening with election integrity. I think they are eating themselves. The problem is we have this generalized distortion that Trump can do nothing good in the leftist media. So it's hard for them to hear through the static, Rob. It's hard for them to hear through the static. The rest of us already are hearing a clear signal.
Well, I said started saying last year, we need to get the message across in a vacuum of good news, okay? There's no good news with regard to Donald Trump. They hate everything about him. They're refusing to celebrate the 250th anniversary of her birth. Nothing he does is good, even though most everything he does is quite good. I even saw people whining about the state fair because they got these buildings that look like they're made out of marble, right? And people are like, these are actually made out of wood with fabric. And I said, well, no, bleep, Sherlock. You think they're going to build marble buildings for the temporary state fair? It's called a set, for God's sake.
Yeah, no. Listen, here's the thing. The way we moved on from the tariffs war, which is we're not hearing about that because of Iran. We're focusing on the Iran issue. It's the end of a 45-year stalemate. It's fantastic when even the things that just happened in court were fantastic. But if you look what he did in the tariff battles in Section 232 with steel and aluminum, Section 301 on billions of dollars of Chinese imports at the beginning, the Trump methodology is shock the system, overreach, no ask, no get, the American way, come back and then readjust. He did it on bump stocks. He did it on life. He's doing it on the economy. This is a guy that leads for us.
Yes.
And what you're seeing is in the background, there's massive amounts of spending coming into America, $190 billion of new manufacturing construction, 244 reshoring, foreign direct investment jobs, 2 million more coming, $200 billion in new AI-based investment and more. I mean, there's the stock market's up, jobs are up, inflation is down when you take out gas. He's winning. We're doing it finally. But no, you're not. You never hear about it, Rob. You never hear about it.
Well, of course, and then also you've got he's way out in front of everything. Okay, so for instance, you're thinking that Donald Trump just is taking down Iran because of the nukes. Yes, of course, but look at what he laid down in the Middle East to precipitate the defeat of Iran and the unification of the Gulf states around America and commerce. He started this years ago. He went to Qatar this year. He got trillions of dollars of investments. That's all playing out now as we crushed Iran's military, and now they're still lashing out and whatnot. But now you've got the Gulf states saying, we want to invest. We want to, instead of having Iran be this tick on the back of humanity with tentacles of terrorism around the world, how about maybe it become a productive society and maybe even earn them some money? What do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we are the bastion of freedom. We stepped into this role of divine providence in 1941. What people aren't talking about is free seas. We've invested. Nobody ever says thank you. It's like, being a dad in an entitled family. Nothing up, but I'm kidding. But it's like you've got this whole family of people that aren't even looking at what's good that's going on there in the world. I mean, that's why we're talking about pulling back from NATO. We're toggling those retractions as well, just even to shake our own saber. But if you look at the free seas, we've never backed up. The Strait of Hormuz is a complete reversal on that. 1, 2, the people are oppressed. 3, their proxy warfare has been horrible. And we've won by punching our end in the nose in the past. It's actually worked. They do respond to it. Yeah. So when people are not looking at the greater picture, but I wrote in my article, and this is the thing that people are not paying attention to, again, behind the scenes, is BRICS. I mean, we have Russia, we have China, we have Iran coming together to deconstruct the petrodollar. There is a massive war on America's dominance in oil that came back after Trump came in and decimated all those Obama-Biden restrictions. It's our greatest resource, and we're unable to access it. Then now we have it back. We have national strength back. We're prospering, and this war also has a security interest economically. So it's not only free seas, but it's also BRICS. Yeah. I mean, the average person isn't thinking about the underlying structure of globalistic safety for America, and Trump is ahead of the game there. I'm not blind Trump. He's doing a great job. We own a lot of real estate. I've been in the finance field for 25 years.
Yep.
What he has done, Rob, has not been good for us. Tariffs hammered us. The Fed has hammered us.
Yep.
But
Yep.
because he's not taking care of the elites.
Yep. Let me ask you this, Judd. Let me ask you, Judd, because you do deep dives on a lot of things. Do you think we're going to have to do a little boom boom to Iran to get these to get the GC out? What do you think is going to happen to finally put the icing on the cake over there?
Yeah, I think my prediction is from where we're going, it doesn't seem like they're going to back off.
No,
I mean,
it doesn't.
The IRC, the leadership over there is really obstinate, really idealist. I mean, that's why their ideology is brutal. That's why, I think their people, once again, I think we're also moving into parallel CIA time. I mean, look, I live in Texas and Los Angeles, and there's a massive Persian community here.
Yep.
And they're all conservative. Everybody is left, and the people that are there are really suffering. You couldn't drive. You still get killed for open homosexuality. There's a lot of heavy repression, and they've killed I think it's like another 50,000 or several 100,000 people have been executed in political confinement. Right, so it's a horrible regime.
Yeah, we're going to have to turn them into powder. Judd Dunning, can you hold on through the break? I've got much more I want to cover with you on the other side of the break.
Honor and a pleasure.
I love it. Just go to X and look up Unapologetic, the Judd Dunning Hour, and we will continue this conversation on the other side of the break. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Talk right here on WCBM.
I'll give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the land of the free. The Scots marched into Boston with their bagpipes
Cokes and tartan everywhere, the whole city stopped to hear. They sang Flower of Scotland at the Red Sox Fenway Park, lit the whole of New England up and glowing in the dark. The Germans hit the highway, chased the road from south to north. Freddie said it's the Holy Land, he meant Taco Bell, of course. Bucky's left him speechless, Bass Pro Shops left him amazed. He got invited to the White House, yeah, the whole world's going crazy. Norwegian fans in New York doing yoga in Times
That is
Square.
a new song that I just found this morning, and it is "Welcome to the USA." And have you heard that, Judd Dunning? It is just, dude. It is, and it covers all of the people coming from around the world who've been told that America sucks and all of this, and they're recognizing how glorious it is. And I believe in providence, and I believe there's a reason why Donald Trump is the president. It's the 250th anniversary, and the world is here to witness the greatness of America. What about you?
Well, absolutely. My new article is going to be out in a day or two. Judd Dunning, Bullet Point Nation on Newsmax, everybody. And our Twitter's Judd Dunning on Twitter.
Yes.
I just wrote an article, 13 and a half Reasons to Love America on our 250th birthday. And my opening lines, and I said, the miracle that should have never happened and against all odds changed the world. And my opening line, just so in line with you, is that America is another name for opportunity. Our whole history appears to be like a last effort of divine providence on behalf of the human race.
Yes, sir.
And if you look deep, if you go to everything that took place for us to get here, the confluence of common law, the Magna Carta, Neoplatonism, Judeo-Christian thought. I mean, everything just came together at the right moment. We have the natural resources. We should have never, been at this time. The repression, the expansion, the industriousness. There's so many blessings, and we're young. Yeah. And if we disconnect from those blessings, we've really lost the plot.
And also, John, I'm going to mention this, that Paris and London existed for 1,000+ years with the same resources, the same people, and they were still using the streets as a latrine. One of our founders discovered electricity, for God's sake, and we brought the world, after hundreds of thousands of years, to playing golf on the friggin' moon 50 years ago. That would have never happened. We were idling along. The world was idling along. It took America to tell the world that we got our rights from God. Number one, the First Amendment, backed up by the Second Amendment, changed it all. And it was a God moment and a God movement, Judd.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Thomas Sowell because he covers another element you don't really think about. Like, why didn't it happen in Africa? Well, Africa has raised coasts, so you couldn't get boats in there. There were all these little moments if you really study the miracles of America. And we have Kit Carson finally finding his way to the California coast. There were so many. There's a great, I think it was Leonardo DiCaprio, which is not my favorite Politico, but in his special, the Men That Built America. I mean, he just covers all these divine moments that the storm outside of Washington. There were a lot of really special things, but most important, I think it's God, right? I mean, it's God. We came together in the ethos of the Ten Commandments.
Judd,
our culture will be able to.
I went to Gettysburg a couple weeks ago, and there was a man there who was on the bus tour, and he was talking, and he would close his eyes, and he would speak in the words of the soldiers there. And he talked about the Battle of Little Round Top, and the Union forces were surrounded, and they had no ammunition. And the leader of the Union forces said, "Fix bayonets, boys. We're charging down this hill." Pardon me. This is no. I'm not done. They ran down that hill praying out loud to God, "I may die here, but I am going to die in your honor. I am going to," and they charged down that hill praying so loud they couldn't hear their orders, praying so loud that the Rebs went, "What the hell is going on?" And you know what the Rebs did? Even though they had all of the ammunition and everything, and all that the Union soldiers charging down that hill had, that just prayer, that's what they had, they ran. They took tail and ran, and we won that. And that's another example. And, Judd, I got to tell you, if you ever get the chance to come up to Gettysburg and see this guy, Jim Collins, I believe is his name, Jim Miller, that story really said it all to me.
Amazing. I finished Tom Hanks' new special on World War II with Tom Hanks.
Yes.
episodes. Just an amazing journey, right? Same kind of the grit that was involved.
Yes.
What it took, the logistics, the production, the backbreaking work. We really are a special people. I was doing in my other article. We our business ethos that comes behind our original ethos that we apply when the world was more savage. I guess it's still pretty savage though. But we work 137 more hours than the Japanese, 260 more hours than the British, 500 more hours than the French. And our American dream is well earned. Going back to tariffs. When we tell people it's a privilege to work in America, it's not a globalistic, socialistic obligation of cultural Marxism to take care of everybody on the planet. We have to take care of ourselves first. But our productivity from that same grit that we cut out independence is still here today. We are one hardworking, wonderful people.
And you know what? We're not going to let a bunch of barista liberals who don't have any life experience that have been in college tell us how to live our lives. Tell us they're going to take over this. They're going to take away prisons. Nonsense. We will pound them into the pavement. Judd Dunning, I appreciate you, man. I'm so glad to have you with Newsmax. I've been with Newsmax. I'm moving into the Newsmax main building in a couple weeks. Did you know that? That's kind of cool. So
that's great.
When we get in there, when you come up, we'll get you in studio. But brother, tell everybody where they can find your glorious work, man.
Thank you, sir. So just get to us through Twitter, Judd Dunning, 3 Ds, 2 N's. Twitter's a quick way to get to us. We're on Newsmax. We have Newsmax Insider Judd Dunning. That'll get you to my articles there on the show. And then JuddDunning.com is our website. So you'd love to stay in touch, Rob. Always an honor and pleasure. You're one of my favorite voices out there.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Happy 4th of July, and God bless you. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. You hear what he said about me? Oh, my God. He's really good. He does deep dives, doesn't he? Doesn't he? I try to cover everything. He does deep dives. Who's watching here? We on the Facebookage. Let's see. New comments over here. A whole bunch of new comments. And from Pranay Upachat, how you doing? We did that white trash talk a little while ago. That was pretty fun. Who was it? I saw this comedian the other day. Talking about just being poor. It wasn't black or white. Like being poor, Tupperware, it was not rare. It was not rare for you to have Tupperware that was a Cool Whip container and it was stained orange from spaghetti sauce. Right? Did you have that? There's a commonality to the poverty experience with all colors of people, and a commonality. And I never knew I was poor growing up, but I was. I didn't know it. We got one pair of shoes a year. We got one pair of shoes a year. That was about it. Presents only on Christmas, maybe on birthdays, very little on Easter. And we raised all of our food ourselves. We went to this place called the Half Price Store. And that's where you bought they were bad shoes. I mean, they're ugly and you got made fun of. And then they had this warehouse grocery store where they just put the boxes on the shelf, cut the end off, and you'd grab the stuff out of the boxes. But I'm grateful for it. I was not raised with privilege, as it were. So I reject white privilege. It's nonsense. Pass the Save America Act. Hell yeah, I'll get you. Leslie Ladyhawk, great song. Isn't that a great song? I love that song. I want to hear some more of that damn song. I'm going to play some more of that song, Brian. Brian, I want to play a little more of that song. You can't stop me. Yeah, let's do that. Hold on. Got it. I just love this song, guys. It's called Welcome to the USA. I'm going to go forward a little bit here. I'm going to post it all on social media. It talks about all the people from all over the world coming here and loving America.
To Gangnam Style with their arms around each beat. Kansas learned Algerian. The marching band played their song. 500 Lawrence locals show the world where you belong.
Algerians went to Lawrence, Kansas, and the Kansas marching band played their national anthem. My son told me about that.
Swedish fans went searching for the recipe to ranch. French Irishman says the air conditioning deserves its own whole stanza. English fans stood jaw dropped at the first sight of Buc-ee's. Scottish fans at Fenway, Boston said please don't leave. Come on. Hockey and the ranch dressing brisket by the pound. Best tournament the world has ever seen.
Come on.
And we're just getting wild. A bagpiper and a bucket drummer outside Faneuil Hall. Plaid kilt, wicker hat, playing music for us all. Different worlds, different words, different flags, different names. But when the whistle blows, we all come alive the same. From the Rockies to Rockefeller, from Seattle to the shore.
We're going to make this a hit.
America is telling the world, come on in. There's room for more. Welcome to the land where the whole world comes to play. Flags from every nation waving proud and on display. From Boston to LA, from Dallas to the sea. 80,000 voices, this is what it means to be free. Welcome to the land, yeah, we're rolling out the door. Every street a stage, every stranger wanting more. The ball is in the air, and the whole wide world can see. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the land of the free.
I got to tell you, that just gives me goosebumps, man. That just gives me goosebumps. This is Providence. It's happening. I told you it was happening. I told you we were the reaction to the action of evil. I told you that the Democrat Party and the left were doing a death spiral into hell. I told you we needed to overwhelm them with joy, faith, and patriotism. It's happening. It's happening. The Democrat Party, the Democrat Socialists, they're evil. There's no doubt about it. They're anti-Semitic. We all get it. We see it. It's so crystal clear. It's so crystal clear. And the Democrat Party is so lost and so desperate to regain power that they're willing to invite the devil himself into their tent. This expedites their deliverance into hell. And if you want to join this glorious movement to love America, and I told you, 80% of us believe the country was headed in the wrong direction. 80% of us can still come together to save her. And that's what this is all about. Those numbers are coming together, and those 20% are the Democrat Socialists and the people in power in Washington, D.C., and they are going the way of the dodo. Yeah, baby. All my social media has that song, Welcome to the USA, including my Rumble channel. God bless you. America as founded. To heck with these Democrat Socialists and Democrats. And it's until tomorrow, which is Thursday, which is almost Friday. Do not catch the stupid. You're the best.
This is
The Rob Carson Show is presented by Paramount Plus.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.